Before I get into my specific questions, Jim, I would love to ask you what was most surprising for you when you first looked at the data and the latest report. What kind of popped up for you?
Well, I think the most notable finding is the drop in manager engagement by 3 points, which we rarely see that big of a drop in a big population study like that.
Mm,
And there's a ripple effect from managers to employees.
mm,
So a drop in manager engagement, and I think that has a lot to do with what was already a role with a lot of job responsibilities, plus a lot of incoming disruptions due to changes in economies, changes in supply chains, the Great Resignation, followed by a lot of hiring and team changes and restructuring and cost efficiencies. There's a lot coming at AI coming into play. Having to manage all that with remote work and everything, I think, has been a big challenge, and I think managers are feeling overwhelmed. So I think to
mm,
solve for that, we've got to simplify or rethink the role of manager considerably. But the biggest, I guess, statistical surprise to me was among exclusively remote workers that they reported higher engagement.
mm,
And the way I would explain that is many of the variables that impact engagement at work have to do with a sense of autonomy. And so remote work would bring some autonomy. And I think, there's been some intentionality in a lot of organizations to provide some role clarity, although I think that's been trailing off too more recently. But so they had higher engagement, but they also reported lower well-being almost on every metric we had, whether it
mm.
was life evaluation, as you're referencing, or daily emotions, including loneliness. Remote workers report higher loneliness.
Right.
So there's some unintended consequences, I think, from remote work. So, and it also speaks to, even though engagement and well-being correlate at the individual level, at the macro level, they don't always agree with each other.
Mm,
And that's why it's important to study the micro and macro data. There's that was to me the most surprising or interesting finding, is that those two things did not go together for remote workers.